Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Cole back again with another video, and I actually uploaded this video earlier without sound, which sucked that it apparently my mic wasn't working in OBS and I didn't realize it. So we're gonna recreate this video, re-upload this video basically. But this is the conclusion to stage 3, my overall thoughts of the tournament, and a few roster changes that happened as well. So this is the conclusion bracket of the stage 3 major final. um I actually did pretty well in predictions this event. I only got like 3 series wrong total this whole event. Which was the winners bracket. I thought LA Thieves was gonna win. Florida came out hot. I thought Minnesota was gonna beat Royal Ravens, but they didn't. And then I also got the finals wrong. But other than that, I have a pretty flawless bracket. um I kind of figured that Optic was gonna get the losers run. Um, I think everyone was shocked for this series. This series was a banger. Um, the Toronto versus Optic match. I don't think anyone expected it to be that close. I think for the most part, if everyone saw Optic getting to Toronto, or if they had Toronto like in the losers bracket right here, um, I think everyone would predict like Toronto to like 3-0, 3-1 Optic, but Optic actually played and came out firing and played extremely well. And honestly, like should have won, you know? Like good job to Optic for coming back to form this event. And I also just want to say congrats to FaZe, obviously, for winning stage 3. Um I mean, FaZe looked back on form like, but it's FaZe at the end of the day, so what can we really say? But I also want to give a shout out to New York for honestly playing well as well. I kind of predicted it. I knew they were going to be like a very explosive team, especially in hardpoint, because at the time they were like, before this event started, they were like 8 or 9-0 in hardpoint. So I kind of knew that they were going to be a very hot team in this tournament, and I had them in my finals. Obviously, I had this exact finals, but either way, um, I think the top 4 teams as of right now are FaZe, New York, Toronto, and Optic. It's hard not to say that after this event. I think they're Optic's back on form. Optic can very well go back to not form. It just depends, but I hope Optic can keep it up. But the top 3 for sure is New York, FaZe, and Toronto. Either way, gonna get into the rosters. The roster changes here. The first one we're gonna do is Minnesota. With Minnesota, what they place like 10th, 10th at the major or something like that. Let's pull up the bracket again. This would be 12th. Yeah, they placed like 11th, 10th. After that, I kind of had a feeling that a change was coming. I even, after the tournament ended, that night actually, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Major Maniac comes back, because Accuracy or Lamar wasn't really playing up to Lamar standards. And I think I love Lamar, by the way. I just want to throw this out there. I have no, like, Lamar's a very good player. He brings a lot of intangibles to a team that a lot of people don't. But I do think that the team was a little off page, and I think they had kind of a bit of a pacing issue. And I think on it, and let's not forget that like when they picked up Standy, they had a good week or so, week and a half, where they were like honeymoon stage winning and yada yada, right? And then they slowly started drifting back into not being consistent at hardpoint, and also not being consistent at search, which is surprising because a team like Minnesota and their roster should be a good search team. So I think hopefully this brings Minnesota to that dark horse team that I think a lot of people predicted them to be going into the year. And even when they picked up Standy, like, oh boy, this could be like the dark horse team that we thought. And I hope Major Maniac, like, the thing I think Major Maniac's gonna bring to these guys is better S&D and hopefully more consistency in terms of pace and in game modes like hardpoint, which they're struggling at. So hopefully this becomes like the spark for them, and hopefully they don't go back into their woes. and they should hopefully improve with this roster, honestly, in my opinion. And like I said, I love Lamar, and even with Land coming up, this is kind of like a weird situation because I think Lamar is a great player on Land, but it is what it is. I'm excited to see the new Minnesota regardless. Next one is London, and this one is where I have question marks written all over it personally. First of all, they announced that they are departing from Zaptius from the team, and then they said that Alex will be returning to a starting roster, but they're also welcoming back Afro and Dominate. Um, Here's my thing with London. Okay, they didn't play like if we pull up the bracket again, sure, they didn't place the greatest, but like they made it pretty. Like they played pretty well at stage 3, and it looked like their teamwork was going to get better and looked like they were going to improve drastically. So I don't get why when your teamwork and stuff looks on the rise and you've looked better than you have all year, to be honest with you, why change it? It makes no sense to me. And this is nothing against Afro or Alex or like I would assume speaking that their Afro's visa's done and stuff like that they're gonna drop Zed as well and put Afro and Alex as their subs. The thing I have against this is Alex went home for personal reasons back to London in like March. And we have no like confirmation of him playing any COD or like he hasn't tweeted out or like basically saying that he's been like still grinding playing eights or challengers or something. So far as far as we know, he could be on like zero like I'm sure he's played some COD, but like not at the high level. So it's kind of concerning to me that they're bringing back Alex for that reason. And I love Alex. I think he's a great player, but I think he's going to come back and get smoked for a little while, to be honest with you. And Afro, he's been playing in challengers. He's supposedly really good. Everyone gasses him up. So hopefully Afro can, if he's on the starting lineup and in replace of Zed, they just haven't announced that he's replacing Zed yet. But with Zed's tweets, I'm assuming that Zed's probably not going to be on the starting roster going into stage 4. But regardless, I am not a fan of this. So hopefully London can prove me wrong. That's all I hope for, but I'm not a fan of this move, to be honest with you. Either way, next roster change. And this one kind of makes sense, but it's like, dude, like I'm not surprised because Seattle looked kind of bad with Desi as well, unfortunately. Even though I think Desi's a great player, they still couldn't figure it out, I guess. And yeah, they're parting ways with Decimate after picking him up. They're not gonna go back to Looney. I can tell you that right now. They're gonna find a new fourth. I don't know who they're gonna pick up. This is like the first time ever. I think I just don't know what's gonna happen with the roster because I'm usually pretty good at like analyzing and like analyzing teams pickups and like who's a good possible option for them. But to be honest, right now, I don't know. They need a good solid consistent sub player and I just don't know, man. This team kind of seems a little chalk to me, just like last year. I just don't have faith in them anymore this year. I don't. And I don't hopefully they pick up a player and they turn it around, but it's just like, dude, I don't know. I kind of have like low hopes for this team. But it is what it is. I'm just excited for stage 4. Standoffs coming in stage 4, hopefully. Um, but yeah, stage 4 should be exciting, and oh, these roster changes should be exciting as well. But yeah, that's it for the roster changes. That's it for the stage 3 conclusion. I will probably make more videos on the roster, like on Seattle's roster changes, and there's more rumors on other teams as well. I can pull it up real quick. Um, it's pretty set that there's going to be more changes happening. So this is the potential, things that could be happening outside of those three teams that have already announced stuff. Zap could be joining Paris, and I would assume that's probably for Donnie. I don't know, but I still think that's interesting as well. I think Paris is pretty chalk too, no matter what. Unfortunately, even though I think Zappius individually is a good player, we already went over this, but Alex and Afro potentially moved to the starting lineup. Um, I don't like I said when we went over London's thing. Dude, very, very, very questionable roster decisions in my opinion. And then Subliners buyout for Saints turns Paris away. I think that kind of makes sense because Paris wants to pay their players the minimum and don't want to. They don't see me as like a team to spend money on picking up a player. Decimate benched himself. Yeah, and we all knew that happened. Like we all know Desi left or got benched or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. In terms of roster mania, I'm sure this week, later this week sometime, as stage 4 returns the week after this. But yeah, that's pretty much it for stage 3 roster changes for now. Let me know what you guys think of these roster changes. Let me know. I mean, I just would like to say that stage 3 major, like watching it was a banger. Like that was probably like the most competitive major and like the most entertaining major I think we've had all year. And hopefully it's more to come. But thank you guys for watching this video. Greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.